Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. A motorcycle traveling at a high rate of speed near the sale barn on State Highway 154 was observed by a Hopkins County deputy Sunday morning. When the deputies caught up with the vehicle and activated overhead lights, Luz Olivio Jr., age 30, of Caddo Mills, failed to stop. The pursuit began on Highway 154, traveled to Farm to Market Road 513, to FM 514, to Highway 19, to Interstate 30, to Highway 360, to FM 36, where the suspect stopped and fled on foot. During the pursuit, the suspect was traveling at speeds greater than 125 miles per hour. Olivo was caught in a pasture and secured in handcuffs. He's in Hopkins County Jail, charged with evading arrest detention with a vehicle. A 2017 Dodge Charger was stopped near the 136 milepost on I-30 by a DPS trooper Sunday afternoon. During the stop, Ronell Lewis Collins, age 19, of Little Rock, Arkansas, was deceptive when asked questions about prior criminal activity and avoided eye contact when asked questions about the presence of drugs, weapons, and money in the vehicle, according to the officer's report. A DPS K-9 unit was called. As a result of the K-9 giving a positive alert on the vehicle, a search of the vehicle found a small amount of controlled substance, a Glock 45 caliber semi-automatic handgun, $13,000, and drug paraphernalia, including bags and scales. Collins is in Hopkins County Jail, charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram, money laundering, more than $2,500 but less than $30,000, and unlawful carrying of a weapon. Special Crimes Unit began an investigation after receiving complaints of an individual calling in fake prescriptions to a local pharmacy. Lindsay Cherry Goff, age 40, of Cooper, was identified as the individual making the calls. She admitted to calling in fraudulent prescriptions for and picking up a controlled substance. Goff is in Hopkins County Jail, being held on a $30,000 bond. When the owner of a business in the 200 block of South Hillcrest discovered a $19,000 shortage for 2017, the owner began taking note of the daily activities of the building or the business and found about $20,000 missing since the first of the year. The manager of the business was making deposits, but no cash was deposited during the normal scheduled deposits. The manager, Delphina Christine Pickerel, age 45, of Yantis, admitted to stealing cash from the business, stating that she was upset due to not receiving a raise and was facing financial hardships. However, in her possession was a Michael Kors purse valued at over $300. Pickerel is in Hopkins County Jail, charged with theft more than $2,500 but less than $30,000, and is held on a $25,000 bond. Christus Trinity Clinic, the Northeast Texas-based provider group and part of the Christus Health System, has been recognized with the American Medical Groups Association's prestigious 2017 Acclaim Award. Each year, the award, supported by AMGA Foundation, rewards a single medical group or organized system of care that's bringing the American healthcare system closer to the ideal delivery model, one that is safe, effective, patient-centered, timely, efficient, and equitable. Christy Stern, Administrative Director of Operations for Christus Trinity Clinic in Sulphur Springs, said, "From the convenience of the MyChart portal to the expansion of services and providers, Christus Trinity Clinic has prioritized the health of people in this community." She said they will continue to work with the community to provide nationally recognized health care services to the people of Sulphur Springs, Emory, and the surrounding area. Christus Trinity Clinic is a not-for-profit multi-specialty practice founded in 1995 and is part of the Christus Health's Northeast Texas region. It includes more than 650 physicians and advanced practice professionals with over 41 specialties, providing care to patients in 82 locations across Northeast Texas. Here's Don Julian with sports.
First in news, the Sulphur Springs High School one-act play Violet Sharp did not advance at area competition on Friday. Now you'll notice that Wildcats Director of Theater Arts Lachey Woodard has sunglasses on. Monday, she was having some eye problems due to allergies. Ms. Woodard tells us about one-act play area competition on Good Friday.
Good Friday wasn't totally great for us because we did not advance from area competition to region. So we were very disappointed about that. But we actually had a really, really good show that day. Good. I was super, super proud of the kids. They had a hard week in rehearsal. Things were getting a little stale, and they were getting tired. But they came through with an amazing performance at area, and I was so proud of them. We definitely thought they should have advanced. So we were excited for a minute. And then we didn't advance, so that was disappointing, even more so. We did have several kids get awards. Brianna Isom and Dusty Merrill both received All-Star Cast Awards, and Sarah Harper received an Honorable Mention All-Star Cast Award. Leif Thomas received an Outstanding Crew Member Award. So we did really well, but it was disappointing to have our season end before region.
Mm-hmm. So what's next for the theater group now?
Well, next our seniors are going to be directing a show for the spring. They are not sure what they're going to direct. They were going to direct a production of Almost Maine, but we've spent so much time on one act now, we're not sure if we need to go with a smaller production or something like that. But that's next up sometime in May, and that'll be our last production this year.
And that'll be, I'm sure, open to the public at some point.
Yes. I'll let you know times and dates when I have those more easily accessible.
Have you kicked around any ideas for a fall musical? Or?
Well, actually, we are thinking about not doing a musical next fall. Okay. We're thinking about switching to kind of an every other year musical kind of thing. Right. And maybe doing just a really large cast comedy is what we're looking at for the fall. But no decisions have been made for sure yet.
Awfully early.
Yes.
Yes. So you feel very strongly that this was a really, really good one-act play and one that did very well for us.
Yes. We had a great group of kids this year, and they worked amazingly hard this year at just every aspect of the production, and I think they really made me proud and should have represented the school very well with this show.
In sports, last week was a good one for the Wildcats baseball team as they picked up road wins at Greenville and at Mount Pleasant. I talked about the week and more with Wildcats baseball coach Jared Hammock.
Two really important wins. We had the weather kind of debacle. Most of our district schools played last Monday to try to beat the weather on Tuesday. We didn't. Mount Pleasant didn't want to play, and so we ended up getting rained out. We ended up having to play Thursday, Friday. We ended up having to change sites for one of them, of course, on Thursday at Greenville. And, you never know how your kids are going to react to that sort of a thing. But I think we have a pretty good veteran club, and it didn't seem to bother us, even though we did, get down 2-0 in the first to Greenville, tied it up midway through, and then just kind of kept pecking away and running away with it. I think it was 8-2, and then had a big one on Friday afternoon, beautiful day. To play Mount Pleasant, and we got on them right off the bat. I think we went up maybe 2-0 in the first, and then just kind of spread it out throughout and scored 8, and they never really had a big threat at any point, so we beat them 8-0. And so it was a good week, and one that 2 games we expected to win, needed to win, and we did.
Set you up at 5-0 in district play with just one more game in the first half. That's Hallsville, and they're always tough, and but 5-0 start, you got to like that?
No question. It's exactly where you want to be, and of course they're 5-0 as well, and we have to go to their place, which we've had limited, if any, success over there. So it's a tall order, but this team again is a resilient team. It's a veteran team. It's a team that believes that we can win, and we're on a pretty good streak right now. We're swinging the bats. We're consistently scoring a lot of runs. I've always said if we can just score 5, our percentage over the years has been 95% win. So we're getting more than 5 in most of these the games we're playing. So we feel good about our chances. Of course, I have a lot of respect for them. They don't have a lot of returning position players, but they always seem to just kind of reload it. From their JV and their freshman level, and then occasionally they get a quality move in So it'll be a tall order, but I like our chances. I think we'll go over there and compete and play really well.
After early season kind of problems with catching the ball and all that, I thought it was a good week defensively for your team.
Yeah, we usually thrive on pitching and defense through the years, and our defense has just been hit or miss, it seems like, in the tournament play. And, of course, you're trying a lot of different people out and trying to figure out where people need to be and what's the right chemistry and the right lineup. Since we have started district, for the most part, we have played much better defense. And as you said, this week, I think we played – I don't know if we played errorless ball, but we have minimized mistakes and are making people earn runs. And, of course, when you only give up 2 runs in 2 ball games, you're going to have a great chance to win both of them, and we did.
One thing, since the games were so late last week and now so early this week, you're playing Hallsville on Monday instead of Tuesday because of the weather concerns. It'll be there. You're going to have to change your pitching a little bit. Your 1 and your 2 are not available because of the UIL rules.
Yes, it kind of goes back to Mount Pleasant not wanting to play last Monday like everybody else. If we'd have just gone ahead and done that, we'd have still been on track. But having to play Thursday, Friday, and using our 1 and 2, because as you know me, we don't overlook anybody, and so we threw our 2 best against them. But and they would have both been available had we played on Tuesday, the normal scheduled time. But because we're having to bump this up, neither are available for today. So I've kind of presented it to our team, as I told you earlier. This is kind of like a game 3 of a playoff series. That to make a deep run, you're going to have to win a game 3 at some point. So let's just pretend this is that kind of a ball game, and go compete. And I trust these guys. I have full confidence in our 3, our 4, our 5, or however you want to label them that. And so hopefully our guys will have the same confidence in them, even though it's not going to be Ryan, who we thought would throw on Tuesday. And so just go over there and compete. And, it's been a long time since we've kind of relied on a 3 in a district ball game. But, it is what it is. Circumstances have made it this way. And, the district track meet being this week kind of hurt that. If we didn't have it Wednesday, Thursday, we would have just decided to chance it on Tuesday and then had Wednesday to play the makeup. But since we don't, we're going to go ahead and go today. And again, have confidence in our guys that we can still go out there and perform and win.
The Lady Cats soccer team played very well in their by-district loss to Wiley East 2-1 at Rockwall last Thursday. We get details on that and on 11 Lady Cats who earned spots on the all-district soccer team from Lady Cats soccer coach Joel Bailey.
Just came up a little bit short against Wiley East. Hats off to them. They're a great team, great program. They won state back in 2015, so they've got some hardware in the trophy case. But definitely earned their respect. Their coach was very complimentary after the game and paid a lot of respect to our team and the way we played and how we handled ourselves on the field. So moving forward, that's a bonus. Those are those little victories along the way that definitely improve your program. And to have his respect after a game like that, literally going down to the wire, is good.
Had a goal in the first half. I think Keely Hudgens got it for you, and that gave you a boost, I know, in that first half.
Correct. Keely, she scores in big games. Really, her goal against Pine Tree at the home game is what kind of solidified third place for us, and she scored a major goal the first 7 minutes of the first half. Really set the tone for a lot of the game. Melina played her in over the top, and their keeper stepped and made a mistake, and Keely was just there and basically kind of dribbled right past her and tapped the ball into the net. It wasn't anything elaborate. It was just being in the right place at the right time and seeing it in. And, we controlled the majority of the game. At halftime, I told them, all right, girls, we have the wind. Go attack. Keep attacking. Don't take your foot off the gas. And unfortunately, they put 2 in on us going into the wind, but the goals were not, oh, shoot, we made catastrophic mistakes. It was just the same thing. They scored at the opportune moments and to push them on to the next round.
Very good record this year. The team, got third place in district. So something to build on, but for your real first year, I know you were an interim coach way back when, but your real first year to kind of put your stamp on everything, and it had to be considered a success.
Absolutely. Looking back, playing through a lot of injuries and some lineup changes, that was probably the most stressful part of this season, trying to get the right configuration, getting the girls to answer the call, and they did it. They exceeded expectations. When I had to ask some forwards to drop in the midfield and some midfielders to drop into the back line, definitely not how we envisioned the start of the season, but with some very big key injuries. They handled adversity well in that, and I got a few back from injury and just with hard work and rehab. And overall, I'm pleased to do it. I want it to end last Thursday night. Absolutely not. I still want to be playing and practicing right now, but the third place finish in a very competitive district, and being able to represent in the bi-district game, definitely pleased with that moving forward.
You want to tell us about the all-district team?
I'll try to do this as best as I can from memory. I did print you out a list, so we're not going to teleprompt this thing perfectly, but yes, starting off with superlatives, McKenna Gamble, she got newcomer of the year. Right. So for a sophomore and a goalkeeper to get newcomer into the district, a definite, awesome, well-deserved award for them. And, voting, I nominate, and then the district coaches select. So that speaks well for all these girls that received awards, that the district coaches selected them. And that's an automatic first-team all-district bid, being a superlative and an MVP for McKenna Gamble. First-team forwards, Melina Zaretta. To end her season, I think she ended up with 16 goals, probably 9 assists, something like that. First-team midfielder, Taylor Robinson. First-team all-district defender, McKenna Kager. I had to throw her in that defensive spot to kind of fill in some holes, and she impressed the coaches enough to earn that award as well. Second-team forwards, Gracie Boyer. Gracie actually led the team in goals scored on the season with 19 goals. So a definite standout within the district amongst the coaches' eyes. Second-team midfielder Haley Robinson, another one that we'll have back next year as a junior, and look forward to a lot of good things out of Gracie. Allie Stevens, second-team defender. The coaches were very impressed with her ability to get up the field and to help support the attacking play. And then the honorable mentions, Keely Hutchins, who will be a senior next year, Bailey Arrington, a senior next year as well, Joe McMillan got honorable mention honors with the goals that she scored early on in district. We'll miss her next year, and Brooke Harden as well, who will be a senior, the other outside back. So got a lot of talent returning. It's going to be difficult to replace the six because, they've all had so much varsity experience and leadership and just brought so much to the table. But definitely miss them, but never forget them. Be the first to welcome them to the alumni club, and, sending 4 of them to college, so on their own merits. So in the fall, hopefully I'll be busy getting to watch some college soccer and supporting them in their avenues and future endeavors. So great season. Ended a little too quick. I think we're all kind of still maybe scratching our heads, hey, how did that one get away from us? But I still don't feel like that it got away from us. It still feels like a victory, and I still feel like I need to prepare this afternoon for a practice for a game tomorrow. So positive end, even though you don't want to lose your last game because that means your playoff run's over. But super proud of the girls for the way they played this year.
The Wildcats tennis team has played 7 tournaments this season, preparing for the district tennis tournament coming up Wednesday and Thursday this week in Texarkana. I talked with Wildcats tennis coach Tony Martinez Monday morning.
We've been preparing and leading up, and we had some really good results over the past week or two back in White House. We played there and we did well. We had to make some adjustments. We lost a big player in doubles. We lost Jonah Kirkpatrick. We didn't lose him all the way 100%, but he is out of the mix for boys doubles. He'd been playing with Alex Benitez, and they probably would have had the number 2 seed, at the district, but it didn't work out that way. So we had to start working the last 2 or 3 tournaments with Alex going singles, and he's done really well from 3rd place. And then last Friday or Thursday night, he ended up in 2nd place in Argyle tennis tournament. And he played some guys that he lost to a tough match, and he lost to Waxahachie's number 1 player, who will be playing for Dallas Baptist. He's got a full ride tennis. So big guy, big serve, but Alex was able to pull it out in the 2nd set and come back to split the sets. But it was tough on the tiebreaker, and it was the last match of the night at 9:30. So it'd been a long day, and he played his best, and that's all we wanted to do right there. Expectations of winning wasn't really in the cards, but he ended up doing well that whole day, and we're real happy with that. So we're looking forward to it. I think he's track. He ended up being seeded number 2 in the district tournament. So we have the right matches. If we get to the semis, we're meeting a player from Ch.18, and it's a player that is beatable, who has been beaten several times this year. So we're happy with that, with the results there.
Who else are you looking for heading to district that you hope might get out?
Well, Jonah Kirkpatrick has now dropped down into mixed doubles, and he'll be playing with Jasmine Cruz. And they did really well also on Friday for their first time to play. I believe they ended up 5th or 6th place. But still a good showing, and it was just them feeling out each other, trying to find out who's on the court, who's working with who. But I think they're going to do well. Then we got practices for the next 2 days, this afternoon and Tuesday, and we'll be able to get a little bit more, I think, be more solid on the court when it comes to Wednesday morning. And I think they have a chance to play and beat Mount Pleasant and end up being, they weren't seeded, but they should be. I think they really have a good chance of defeating Mount Pleasant's number 1 team.
And I know you always hope for somebody that just kind of is playing well and hopefully can win a few matches.
I have like Chase Crouch, who's really been doing well this year. I mean, 3rd place, 2nd place. He's really done good. And he's the dark horse. I mean, he has got a tough match, I think, the 2nd or 3rd round with the number 1 seed from Ch.18. But he can play with those type of players. That's why I'm not scared. He's not scared of the competition. And if things fall in his place, I mean, it could be an upset, but I mean, he is playing well. And then there's the boys doubles, and it's going to be tough for those guys. Aaron, Lucas, and Michael McCord are playing together. That's a new team because Aaron was playing with Jasmine Cruz. So we made some adjustments. And then a really good team that's really emerging is Logan Schumacher and Jordan Gonzalez. In fact, those two got 2nd place Friday in the boys doubles tournament, and Michael McCord and Aaron Lucas got 3rd place in the tournament in a different division. But they did really well, so we're really happy with the results there too for the boys doubles. So it gets them ready, prepared for this week's district tournament. They're going to be a little bit more positive when they walk on the court.
Big tournament like district, it's bound to serve the young players well, your young guys and your young girls.
Yes, we'll be taking them, and I keep forgetting that a lot of ours are young. I mean, they're sophomores and they're freshmen. The girls are freshmen and sophomores. None of these are juniors and seniors. So this is where they'll get to see the action and what it all comes down to, and they'll be able to get more into it and get prepared for next year or two. That's what we're looking forward to. So we're happy with everything. I think we have the right people as role models to be displayed for the younger people to to look up to.
How's the weather looking? Are you still? What are your dates this week?
This is Wednesday and Thursday, and they at Ch.18 they do have the 3 indoor facilities. So we'll still play. Like last week, we canceled the JV district tournament here, and we moved it over there, and we played it and got it all done by 2:30. But same thing here. Looking for probably a little cooler weather, I think. I don't think there's like it was last week in the 80s or 70s. So we're prepared. We've been playing all types of weather this whole season. So, windy, no wind, cold, hot. We're ready for Wednesday and Thursday. The players are ready.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.